Hey, it's Drew Neiser with another Tuesday tip. We just spent a good 45 minutes talking about the challenges of managing up and sideways, some great ideas and thoughts in terms of what CMOs can do to help get through some of these challenging situations. So first up, Grant Johnson of Billtrust, what's your tip for either managing up or sideways?
Well, I think in both cases, it's making sure you have a very good cadence of interacting. Most of us are working virtually, so if you can find time to break bread together, you're doing an executive offsite. And part of staying in regular contact and building these relationships is so that you can turn to an ally when you need one. And it's easy to get out of alignment. We all have different department objectives, priorities, market changes, and so just stay in sync and meet frequently.
What's interesting is you're doing things to build trust. And what came up in the huddle was it's really hard to do that over Zoom because you don't have their full attention. So sometimes you just got to get face to face to build these relationships. Okay, Dean Nicolls. Dean, what's your tip?
I think my tip is to get aligned early on the metrics that matter, that you both agree to is what's going to propel the business forward. And then your meeting's alignment should be focused on that strategy and those metrics.
So the alignment with like a CRO could be an interesting challenge, but with the CEO sometimes, and we talked about this in the huddle, it's difficult because the CEO may or may not fully understand how marketing works, right? So when we say get alignment and it's the CEO, what are we doing here?
So it really comes down to the strategy. So for us, for example, there's a focus on demand generation, a focus on brand awareness, focus on channel as an example. And so I meet with the CEO one-on-one each week, and I come with an agenda on what I'm doing in each of those three buckets to kind of move the needle. What our team is doing. Here's examples of what we're doing. And then even within each of those buckets, I try to bring in stats, KPIs about, when we talk about demand gen, we're looking at SQLs and opportunities. We're looking at brand awareness. We're trying to even measure that. And so it's like not only here's all the stuff that we're doing, but here's how we're moving the needle with the stuff that we're doing.
Right. That's great. So it's not about fluffy brand stuff, even though we are tracking brand. Okay, Marshall Poindexter, OpenEye Scientific. Marshall, what's your tip?
So my tip is when you're trying to build a strong relationship with a peer, so managing sideways, always positioning an ask in terms of, what can this do for you? How can this help you be successful? And then propose it to them in terms of what do you think? Really positioning it as a collaboration that benefits them.
Got it. This is sort of sharing the vision and laying it out for them so that they can see why this is good for them, not just, quote, a marketing thing. Okay, great. Lesley Davis, WEI. Lesley.
Yes, managing up, I think one of the best things you can do, and someone worded it better than myself, but own that agenda, come up to the table, already have what you want to talk about in front of them, sort of show that you're doing what you need to be doing to be their backbone and help them. And then sideways, don't assume people are telling you and your cohorts the same information. Just go ahead and talk around them as much as need be.
Love all of that. Owning the agenda. What could be more important than the CMO who sits at the center of just about everything that our organization needs to get accomplished? Okay. If you're a B2B CMO who can share, care, and dare with the best of them, check out CMOHuddles.com. I'm Drew Neiser, and that is your Tuesday tip. Peace out.